I am Mrs. Roma Malik and I will be teaching class 11th biology. The unit is Diversity in the Living World, the chapter The Living World. Living world exhibits an amazing diversity of living organisms. Its extraordinary habitats, that is, it can survive in cold mountains, deciduous forest, oceans, freshwater lakes, deserts, hot springs. And there are distinct features which differentiate it from non-living organisms. Characteristics exhibited by living organisms: growth, reproduction, respond to stimuli, metabolism, consciousness and cellular organization are some of the characteristics which are exhibited by living organisms. Now, what is growth? In animals, that is in multicellular organisms, growth is by cell division up to a certain age in case of animals. In plants, growth is by cell division throughout their lifespan. Non-living objects also grow if we take increase in body mass as a criterion for growth. Example, mountains and boulders. In living beings, the growth is internal, whereas in non-living it is external. Reproduction, sexual reproduction in multicellular organism. It is the production of progeny possessing features similar to parents. In asexual reproduction, for example, in fungi, the reproduction is carried out by asexual spores. In yeast and hydra, it is carried out by budding. In planaria, it is by true regeneration. Metabolism is also another criteria of living organisms. The biological reactions, chemical reactions or metabolic reactions, that is the sum total of all the chemical reactions that is taking place in our body is metabolism. The next important characteristic is cellular organization. All living organisms, they start their life from a single unit which is called the cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. A group of cells make tissues, the tissues make organ, and then the organ makes the organ system. Consciousness is another important criteria. All living organisms are conscious, that is, they are aware. We see a wide variety of living organisms and we refer them to as the diversity in the living world. Now, when we say diversity in the living world, we have to refer to certain terminologies. Biodiversity. It is the flora and fauna which is found in our surroundings, and it is the number and types of organisms present on the earth. Nomenclature. It is standardizing the name of living organisms. Identification. It is the correct description of an organism. All living organisms, for our convenience, have a scientific name which is widely accepted all over the world, which is known as scientific naming. It was first proposed by Linnaeus as binomial nomenclature. That is, a scientific name has two components, the generic name and the specific epithet. For example, human beings, their scientific name is Homo sapiens. Homo stands for genus and sapiens for species. There are certain universal rules for nomenclature. Biological names are in Latin and written in italics. The first word represents the genus and the second denotes specific epithet. Both the words, when handwritten, are separately underlined or printed in italics. the first word starts with a capital letter while the second with a small letter. Example, Mangifera indica, wherein Mangifera is the genus and indica is the species. Classification is another important thing in this diversity in the living world. It is the process by which organisms are grouped into convenient categories based on observable characters. It involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category, which is referred as taxonomic hierarchy. Each category is a unit of classification or rank termed as taxa. Systematics. It is the systematic arrangement of organisms based on evolutionary relationship between organisms. Taxonomic categories showing hierarchical arrangement. The taxonomic categories shows hierarchical or arrangement, that is, they have a specific system. The taxonomic categories from species to kingdom is shown in the ascending order: species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, division. Phylum refers to animals, division to plants, kingdom. The taxonomic categories: species, group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. For example, Mangifera indica for mango, Solanum tuberosum for potato. Here, indica is the species, tuberosum is the species. Genus, group of related species. Example, potato, tomato, brinjal are three different species, but they belong to the genus Solanum. Family, group of related genera. Example, Convolvulaceae, Solanaceae, they come under polymonials. Class, related orders. The order Primata includes monkey, gorilla, as well as the order Carnivora, which has tiger and lion, are placed in class Mammalia. Phylum is the next higher category. In animals, we refer as phylum. In plants, we refer it as division. Kingdom is the highest taxonomic categories. Various phyla are included in the kingdom. The plant kingdom is known as Plantae and the animal kingdom is known as Animalia. Taxonomical aids. Taxonomical aid is the procedure and technique to store and preserve the information as well as the specimens. The different aids are: herbarium. It is a storehouse of collected plant specimens that are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. Botanical garden. These are specialized gardens that have collection of living plants for reference. Example, Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah, which is at Kolkata, and National Botanical Research Institute at Lucknow. Museum. Collection of preserved plants and animal specimens. Zoological parks. Wild animals are kept in protected environment under human care. Key: identification of plants and animals based on similarities and dissimilarities. So, here is a recap of the portion which we have studied. the characteristics of living organisms, the taxonomical hierarchy, and other different characteristics which are found in living organisms. The living world is amazing with a wide diversity. The living organisms are self-replicating, evolving, self-regulating, interactive system capable of responding to external stimuli. Biology is the study of evolution of living organisms on Earth. We are closing this episode. We'll continue the same unit with a different chapter in the next episode.